Morning, everybody. 3rd of July. Another day in my daily diaries of looking after my wife with Parkinson's and dementia. Last night, during the night, it's been okay. She didn't wake up, and I woke up a couple of times just to check. But she was okay. But when I first managed to get her to bed, because again, she didn't want to go. She was falling asleep on the settee, but I had to have a big discussion with her. Angie, come on, I'm tired. I've been up since 5:30, which I was yesterday morning. Come on, I need to go to bed. I've got to get you to sleep first before I can get. So I will. And it's like, it doesn't sink in. At one point, I said, right, well, what I'll do is I'll go to bed and I'll bring you a blanket and you sleep on the couch. That sort of made her eyes pick up. So it weren't long after that. I said, are you going to go to bed now? And she said, yeah. I remember just taking her to bed isn't a simple case of walking in. So right, good night, I'll see you in a bit. Got to go through the whole procedure of getting out of her pyjamas, changing and putting a cotton nightie on, putting her earplugs in, and I've got to physically put her in bed, remember. Get her on her back, turn her on her side, straighten her clothes, so it's a 15, can be 20 minutes sometimes from getting it off the settee. So actually me walking out, turning the light off in the bedroom. But then of course I've got the camera watching, and she was extremely fidgety and restless. Oh, really bad. And I thought, this is going to be a long night. She was a good 3/4 of an hour to an hour. But I mean, properly fidgety. Legs were going, legs were up out of the bed. The sheets were off the bed. But then once she went to sleep, I give her sort of 10 minutes. There was no more fidgeting. Then I got in bed. It was about 12:15, 12ish, I think, something like that. And then, like I said, she's just slept right through. She didn't wake me up at all. So I don't know what that's all about. I could probably do that every night. Have an hour's restless when I first put her in bed, and then sleep through the night. That'd be good if that could happen. And I've just given her 8 o'clock tablets this morning. She took them and said, right, are you going to stay in bed? And she just grunted, and so fingers crossed. And my camera's not switched since, so hopefully she's going to get a couple of hours skip. We've not got anything on today other than the volunteer sitter who's coming at 1 o'clock. So if need be, I can leave Angie in bed till as late as 12 o'clock if needed. So, but we'll see. Yesterday morning, she got the calendar all wrong again. There's I'll give it. There's 4 of them. There's Ainsley, great grandsons, Arlo, then Angie, and then baby Ali. I said, who's that, Angie? So she called Ainsley by his mum's name again, Cody Lee. And didn't get Arlo again. And she got herself again. I don't know, but I think it's because I got the 4 faces again. She just didn't have a clue again. Hopefully, I'll try it again this morning. I'm just hesitant really, because I might try a different approach. Instead of just saying, who's that, Angie? I might think of a different way of approaching it, just to stimulate a memory a bit. And so I'm hesitating on that one. So yeah, then I got her washed and dressed, but then she sat on the toilet for over half an hour. Didn't want to get off. What, I need the loo. So she missed a cut-off point for a breakfast, which was 11 o'clock, because again it's a tablet time at 12, and she can't eat for an hour beforehand and half an hour afterwards. So she managed to get her breakfast at 12:30. I had it all done, all chopped up, the fruit and everything ready. So So she got it about 12:30. So again, even though she'd been up, and I look at it, she's missed a meal, you know. So, but she was very, very sleepy and very lethargic again. And even when the sitter come, the outreach worker, she turned up, you know, for 2 o'clock till 5. She half conversated with her, Angie, I mean, but they just sat watching TV. But then I shut off and did my shopping. And Debbie, the sitter, said when I come back, she said she's been falling asleep, you know. So, and then she muttered something, and she wanted me to go and take her in the front room and put her on the settee, on the lounger, which I did do when because I got back about, I don't know, 4:15. So I put her on the settee with the recliner bit out, and you ought to go have a nod, Angie. No, she fights it. Even though she's dead tired, she seems to fight it and won't sleep. You know, months and months ago, she went through a phase where she would actually sleep. She'd let me cover her up with a throw, or even put her in bed once or twice in the afternoon just for an hour. And it does make the difference. And I can't understand why. You know, it's not for me to understand, but she won't. So, and I don't know why. I don't know why. You know, but she'll say, "I'm tired. I'm tired." It's a strange one. It really is a strange one. I spoke to Debbie, the outreach worker, about whether the firm she works for, it's the same firm that runs the daycare centre that Angie goes to on a Monday, if they did such things as overnight, you know, sitters, carers coming in overnight. And she said, no, as far as I'm aware, they don't. But she did send a message through. Obviously, it's a care system. They'll know, you know, which direction to point me. So she did that for me. So I'm expecting some call or something back today, just with some information as to who I need to speak to, you know, and which firm will, because it's an option. So like I said yesterday, I'm just thinking ahead. I'd sooner get these things organised and in place, ready for when I do need them, rather than when I do need them, I don't have them. You know, that'll be hard. So yeah, even more so once we do move and we get the 3 bedrooms, you know, and I'll have what I'm going to call my own room. Not that I'll be in it, you know, all the time, but it gives me the option then of, if she's really restless and keeping me awake, or I can't get in bed because she won't go to sleep, gives me an option then. But there'll be another spare bedroom, which I will be setting up as like a guest room, should we say, where family can come over and stay. They can come over and stay. Not mean to say they have to come over and stay to assist and help me, but the option's there. But then that bedroom can also be used if I need the care people to come and sit in overnight, just to give me a break, because it'd be nice to, like people keep talking about respite, but I don't know, I can't get my head around me leaving here and stopping in a hotel somewhere for a few nights, or people even keep saying for a week, while somebody else comes here, or vice versa. I could handle somebody coming to sit in overnight, say 8 o'clock, and me going in my own room, should we say, and watch TV from say 8 o'clock of a night, and then I can watch TV, do what I want, go to bed, sleep unaffected, and get up in the morning at my usual sort of 7 o'clock, and then the care worker will probably, you know, if they do a 12-hour shift, then, you know, go at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I know then that I'm not being disturbed, and she's safe, she's being looked after. So that to me is a good idea. I could really handle that, you know. And then as things progress, you think of other things further down the line. But you know, so I spoke to Angie's voice wasn't as bad yesterday. It was fairly audible. You had to concentrate on what she was saying, but you didn't have to put my ear right up against her mouth, you know. So it was slightly louder. The volume was slightly louder. And I got a message off somebody who's she's got Parkinson's herself. When we first moved up this area and we used to go to the Parkinson's meetings, they have a Parkinson's group and they meet every week somewhere, different places each week, different day in a different place. All people in the area that's got Parkinson's, or people who are looking after people with Parkinson's, or people who used to look after somebody that's had Parkinson's. The woman who run it, her husband, she looked after her husband with Parkinson's for years and years. Now, he's since passed, many years ago, but she still runs it. So, but we got sort of friendly with a couple, a few people. It was Bev, she were called, very independent, lived on her own with her son, and Paul and Alistair. But Bev messaged me today on WhatsApp, just out of the blue, and it's one of them things you keep thinking to yourself, I must contact Bev and Paul, and I still haven't, said hi, checked in with them for a while. And she said she's now, because she kept off the medication for as long as she could. Anyway, she said she's now on it. She's now on the medication, but it's making her ill. So I don't know. So I hope either it settles down for her, or maybe gets it changed. But this is what this disease does. It's weird. It won't. It doesn't. It affects everybody different. This is why they find it hard to control it and combat it, because what works for one doesn't work for another. And it's not until you try these medications and these things that do you find out whether it's working for you or it's not. And if it doesn't, you've got to give it time. Then it doesn't work. You've then got to go to something else, which again may not work. But she did say, I sent her the link to these videos. She's not on TikTok, so I do it on YouTube as well. So she watched it on YouTube, and she messaged me back later and said, I've got the eye thing as well, where she can't, she closes her eyes and she's struggling to open them, so she's the first one that I've come into contact with that actually has that same symptom. Yeah, that same symptom. So yeah, so I think she's going to pass it around anyway, and hopefully we can get a bit more out there, even to within the Parkinson's community itself. So yeah, today's a nice day. I'm going to get out for at least an hour when the volunteer centre comes today, 1 till 3. By the time she's coming, and I'll just get out for an hour. I'll just go straight out and have a chill and have a coffee somewhere and people watch. What I did yesterday when I was shopping, but I only went in Morrison's, went shopping and went in the cafe. So the next thing, I'll get him on a little pull along trolleys, doing shopping in that. No. Anyway, right, I'm going to get off. I'm going to get off now. So again, please do the usuals. Follow me. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow me. Send me your comments. Press your like buttons. And forward it on, please. So again, I'll do another one tomorrow. So as usual, you take care now. Bye.